be weird to say that the forward is one of my favorite parts of this book? Okay, so here's the deal is, why do I want to talk about the forward for a while? Because of this. I think the audiobook is an absolute blessing. I love that this audiobook allows me in a very digestible way to get through this book multiple times per year. But the audiobook does a disservice to us because they start at the introduction and they did not record the forward and include it in there. So I'm telling you right now, if you have the audiobook, and that's an easier way to get through this book, okay? Get the hard copy and read the forward, because I'm telling you, there's good stuff in the forward. The forward is what sets us up to enter into the thought process of the shift and what to do about the shift. It helps us enter into it with the right mindset. So let me just give you one example of how this chapter starts. You cannot control, and this is a quote from Tracy, and that's how it starts. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. Okay? Rather than allowing it to master you. Okay? The fact is I think sometimes we let our surroundings and our circumstances and the situation and the market, okay, it masters us. It is our master. This book, and one of the goals of this book, as I see it, is to help you become the master. Okay? So I want to read that one line again. It says, you can control your attitude towards what happens to you, and in that you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. So I want to read basically the same concept, but from another author, and that's going to be Og Mandino from The Greatest Salesman in the World. I almost like the way he says it better. Choose which one you like, but I'll tell you right now, I would have these quotes up on your wall. I would take pictures of them and put them on your phone. I have them on my phone. Here's one I have on my phone that gives the same basic concept. And I'm telling you, this is the way that we go into talking about a shift. It starts with mindset. Gary Keller knows that, and he starts this book with that mindset. It's missing from the audiobook, so remember, you want to hear this. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions, and strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. It's so good. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions, and strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. Okay? Now, it may seem like I'm not even talking about the book Shift. I am 110% talking about the way that Gary wants you to read through Shift. He wants you to read through Shift with that thought process in mind. The shift does not control you. You can take certain actions, and when you take those actions, those can actually control how you feel and your mindset, and your emotional state for that matter, not only just your financial state. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions, and strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. I could read that 20 times and just make this one video. I'm telling you, I absolutely adore that thought process. Now, when he moves into the forward a little bit, he really wants to talk about success. Okay. Now, the way that they talk about it in this book is that success means something different to everybody, but failure, and I think that this will apply to what I'm about to read from Gary here, okay? I think this is a great statement, okay? Success is a state of mind. Which two among 1,000 wise men will define success in the same way? Yet failure is always described in one way. Failure is man's inability to reach his goal in life, whatever that may be, whatever that goal may be. Okay, we all agree that failure is man's inability to reach his goal in life, whatever that may be. So let's just talk about what Gary says about his version of success. I think of success simply as the end result of a challenge accepted and achieved. In reverse, he's also defining what he feels failure is. So many people go into a shift and they go into it with fear, okay? And they come out of it with failure, okay? What Gary is helping us do in this forward is he's helping you move into this book with the proper mindset. So In this book, I'm going to go to the last part of the foreword, and you're going to see how much I marked this up because this is a big one. Actually, it's maybe 2/3 of the way through the foreword. And that is going to be this quote. And I'm going to read this to you because I think this is the mindset. This is an actual example from an agent talking about how they think of open houses and what his shift in mindset has been and what he's recommending it be for us. I see every single part of this forward as applying to how we look at everything that is given to us and shared with us throughout the rest of the shift book. Okay. So he says, Alan from Philadelphia, one of the top real estate professionals in the world, gets this better than most. A lot of agents will spend less than an hour marketing an open house and then go sit in an empty open house for up to 4 hours on a Sunday. This is so powerful, this next part. Alan just flips this approach around by spending up to 4 hours aggressively marketing an open house. And then when he holds it, it's packed and can last less than an hour. Here it comes. He says this is more than just extra effort. It's about putting extra effort where it belongs. That's what they're going to be talking about throughout this entire book in Shift. It's not about just making the extra effort. It's about making the extra effort in the right areas, okay? And he's right. It's both. It's extra effort on the things that matter most. And what I have in my notes all around this is not all time invested is created equal. Be honest with ourselves. Self-awareness is a superpower. How many areas could you apply this example to other than an open house? Okay. Also, account for and be honest with ourselves on how much of our marketing is active versus passive. Okay. You can sit in that open house all day long. 4 hours, I think, was the example that they used there. You could sit in it for 4 hours. You're just passively, I was going to go on with that statement. You're just being passive, okay? What he's talking about is flip it. You may have done no marketing other than put it up on the MLS, maybe put it on Facebook or done a few things like that. What he's talking about is making your active versus your passive and flipping those on its head. Don't do a 4-hour open house and an hour worth of active marketing if someone even does active marketing for their open houses. He's talking about doing it flip-flop. Do 4 hours of active marketing and the results that you will get will blow your mind. They're going to be talking about these types of concepts all the way through Shift. Don't just get active. Okay, you want to put extra effort in. And when the shift happens, they're going to keep telling you, you don't have much of a choice if you want to succeed. You've got to be willing to put in the extra effort. But just putting in extra time and extra effort isn't enough. It's getting our mind right, putting the extra effort in the places that actually matter. Now, let's go back and let's finish this video with that statement again, because they are taking these statements and they are making them their reality. You cannot control what happens to you, the market, okay? But you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. What are you feeling? What are your thoughts when you sit in that open house for 4 hours and you talk to nobody? Okay? Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. You sat there for 4 hours. And that feeling that you get has the potential to change what actions you take after that open house on the next time that you make an effort on an open house, because your thoughts are now, it doesn't work anyways. Okay? But strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. You might need to put a little extra effort in during a shift. But extra effort without thinking about putting the extra effort in the right places is a bit of a waste of time. That one concept from the foreword that was not included in the audiobook, I'm just telling you right now, this book is better because of this foreword. Hope that helped you guys. Let's move on.